अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, खबर से खबर में खुश आमदीद। मैं इफ्तिखार शराजी। नाज़रीन, मशरक़ वस्ता की सूरत हाल गोया कि वहाँ अमन बड़ी देर से नहीं आ पाया और अब देखा यह गया है कि हालिया दिनों में अमेरिका के ज़ेर इंतज़ाम वहाँ पे एक पीस एग्रीमेंट हुआ है और उस पर अमल दरामद के लिए मुख्तलिफ ममालिक उसमें अपना हिस्सा डालेंगे और बिलखसूस मिस्र जैसा मुल्क इसका बड़ा एक कलीदी रोल है वहाँ पे इस अमन को लाने में। और इस वक्त हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं अरब रिपब्लिक ऑफ इजिप्ट के मिनिस्टर ऑफ फॉरेन अफेयर्स, इमिग्रेशन एंड अफेयर्स ऑफ इजिप्शियन अब्रॉड, डॉक्टर बदर अब्दुल अते। Thank you very much, sir, for your time, despite the fact that you are on a short visit of Pakistan, but you have taken up time for the DawnNews, so thank you very much. So, sir, start with the Pakistan-Egypt relation. Recently, we have witnessed a new level of engagement between Egypt and Pakistan. So, would you like to elaborate the baseline of a new engagement, new relationship?
Well, first of all, I'm very grateful for hosting me in your very popular program, and I'm delighted to be with you. And of course, we have a long-standing historical relationship between our two sisterly countries, Egypt and Pakistan. It's long-standing, as I mentioned. It has political, economic, cultural components, people-to-people interaction. We have one religion which is, bounding us, of course, and we have also common agenda for the present and for the future. So it's very important, and now we have to reinvigorate our relationship. In order to cement it, we have a strong foundation through the historical relationship, but we need this very solid foundation in order to look to the future through building mutually beneficiary partnerships, especially in trade, in economic relationship, and we can do more and more. You have a very vibrant private sector, and we have the same in Egypt. So connectivity is very important. We have specific ideas. We must at least double our trade volume. $300 million is nothing with the capabilities of the two countries, and also investment is very important by Egyptian investors here or Pakistani investors in Egypt. So we have to do more. There is a conducive environment for attracting investment in Egypt. We did a lot, especially with regard to structural economic reform. You have the same here in Pakistan. So I believe that it's timely visit, and we have extensive contacts and consultations on the level of the heads of states, on the ministerial level, on sub-ministerial level. Sky the limit for our cooperation. We need to reinvigorate the business council because this is the main engine for promoting trade, investment, and economic relationship, as well as having a business forum either in Egypt or here in Pakistan, in order to shed the light on the existing opportunities in different sectors such as infrastructure, energy, renewable, clean energy, petrochemicals, textile, garment, agriculture, food security, food processing. So we have many opportunities, but we need to explore them and to encourage our private sector to see the existing opportunities with the excellent political relationship in order to build partnerships based on win-win situation and serve the interest of our two peoples.
And if I ask, what are the key areas where you want to have strategic relations with Pakistan? So would you elaborate those key areas?
Yes, we have many areas. First of all, political level. We are sharing the same views on many issues, especially the Palestinian issue, which is the core of the conflict in the Middle East. And Pakistan, with Egypt, we were among the 8 countries who met with President Trump in New York on the side of the General Assembly ordinary session last September. And we are engaging together in this mechanism or this forum in order to make the Trump peace plan applicable on the ground. And both of us, we welcome the plan, we welcome the Security Council resolution, but we need it to be applicable on the ground. So there is a Board of Peace and also ISF, the International Stabilization Force, as well as the Palestinian Technocratic and Administrative Committee, which will govern Gaza. So we are sharing the same view that no division of Gaza, that Gaza is an integral part of the West Bank for the future Palestinian state, and Israel should withdraw from Gaza, and we have to flood Gaza with humanitarian and medical aid. So we have common objectives, as well as for security arrangement in the region, also common ground on fighting terrorism. We are affected, both of us, by terrorism, and we can work together, we can cooperate, exchange ideas and expertise. Egypt has the most successful model of fighting terrorism in the world, based on a comprehensive approach, which is not focusing on security dimension, but also on other dimensions, such as socio-economic development, such as cutting funds, such as fighting extremist ideology through the moderate religious institutions, most notably Al-Azhar al-Sharif, which is the most notable Sunni institution in the Islamic world. Also, as I mentioned, in the level of economic and trade, we have many opportunities, and we can benefit of them mutually.
So is it on agenda when you talk to Pakistani leadership to, share your, experience to counter the terrorism in Egypt? So would you like to share with Pakistani leadership, and we can, benefit from your experiences?
Yes, of course, we stand ready to work together and to cooperate, and there is already cooperation in this area. And as I mentioned, based on this holistic approach, it's very effective. It was very successful approach in Egypt, and we managed to dismantle the infrastructure of the terrorist organization. So we are stand ready to work with you, and also, as I mentioned, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar is stand ready to increase scholarships, training of young preachers, young imam, and other ideas such as Al-Azhar Observatory, which is a very successful story, religious teachings, and they have also linguistic skills and to serve the internet in order to immune young people from being recruited by terrorist organizations. So this is very successful one. And by the way, we are now co-chairing the Global Forum for Countering Terrorism with the European Union, and they asked us to extend our co-chairmanship, and we approved because we have a very successful model on that.
नाज़रीन, प्रोग्राम में एक छोटी सी ब्रेक के बाद गुफ्तगू के सिलसिले को आगे बढ़ाएंगे. प्रोग्राम में एक बार फिर खुश आमदीद. We'll come to the Middle East peace plan. How you describe this plan? Is it acceptable for the Palestinian people, or you say it it's more favor to the Israel, and how you see the future of this plan? Is it perfect to have permanent peace over there, and then it will lead to the two-state solution of the Middle East crisis?
Well, first of all, as you know, the Palestinian Authority welcomed the plan. Even Hamas welcomed the plan, and all Arabs and Muslim countries welcome the plan, and the international community as well. It has a very, very positive element, especially with regard rejection of annexation of the West Bank, with regard rejection of displacing people from their homeland. It has some ideas also about the statehood and the right of self-determination for the Palestinians. And it has other aspects should be dealt with more details, and that's why it's a very important plan, and it should be implemented on the ground, and it should be successful, because the other option will be the resumption of the aggressions and the attacks against civilians in Gaza. So we supported, but we have also to keep an open eye on what's happening in the West Bank, because what's happening in the West Bank is very bad, very, I mean, not less than what's happening in Gaza, especially with systematic attacks by the settlers against civilians in the West Bank under the, the support and open eyes by the Israeli army, and this cannot be accepted at all. Annexation of land, settlement activities, terrorizing civilians in the West Bank, those are of great importance. We have to be careful. We have to follow up what's happening in the West Bank as well as in Gaza, and we have to help the Palestinians by, as I mentioned, pushing for the continuation, the sustainability of the ceasefire, pushing for Israeli withdrawal from Gaza, pushing for accessibility for more trucks, more humanitarian aid, and then the issue of early recovery and reconstruction of Gaza.
But in fact, I mean, on the Palestinian side or the Hamas side, they are, I mean, going with the 20 points peace plan, but on the other side, Israel is still violating this, I mean, peace plan. So how you see this action from the Israel side? I mean, would it be detrimental for the peace plan?
Well, I mean, the Israelis, unfortunately, they are violating the Trump peace plan on daily basis by claiming that the other side is violating, and now they are bombarding Gaza, targeting Gaza. But we have to continue working with the American side because this is the only guarantee for securing the implementation of the Trump peace plan, to keep President Trump and the American administration directly engaging, and this is very important to use the leverage of the United States on Israel to constrain the Israeli side and honoring the ceasefire, and of course moving forward with regard to the withdrawal from Gaza and allowing more accessibility of humanitarian aid into Gaza.
And Excellency, in this peace plan, in fact, International Stabilization Force is a key factor, in fact. So what will be the formation of this force? I mean, and will Egypt lead this force or some other country?
Well, I mean, we're still working on more details like formulation of the troops who will contribute, but above all, what is the mission and the mandate of this force? This is the most important question. Is it peacekeeping mission or peace enforcing mission? From our point of view, it's peacekeeping mission. So we're still working with the partners, regional and international partners, and we hope to conclude this matter and to have more clarity on the mission in order to send a message for the different countries for their contributions.
And what will be the mandate of this International Stabilization Force? Will it disarm the Hamas and bring peace over there? It has some political role as well.
Well, this still, as I mentioned, under discussions. From our point of view as Egypt, We believe that its main mission should be monitoring the implementation on the ground of the ceasefire agreement, and also securing the external border of Gaza and providing protection to the Palestinian people. This is from our point of view, our how do we see the mission in order to be applicable on the ground.
But I mean, you have the intent to contribute the force for the UN mission, and again, the Pakistan has given any kind of commitment to contribute forces, and how many forces for that purpose?
Well, as I mentioned, those are still open questions. So we're still working on, first of all, the mission, the nature of the mission, the mandate of the force on the ground, and we're still discussing the matter on the highest level in order to take the appropriate answer based on the identification of the mission of the force.
But in fact, in the 20 points, peace plan, it was very much clear that this force will coordinate with the Israeli forces for the border management and to disarm the Hamas, and even those people of Hamas who want to leave the Gaza, they will facilitate, to leave for any country. So the job, or you can say role, is very much well defined, but you are saying that still we are discussing.
No, this is just a bit generic ideas, but when we start to implement it on the ground, a lot of details should be dealt with, a lot of questions should be answered, and that's why we are in this process now, to identify the nature, as I mentioned, is it peace enforcing or peacekeeping? We have to answer this question. Also, what is the size of this troop? We have no idea. We're still working on it. And also, which countries will participate and what is the criteria for their contributions. So still a lot of answers, a lot of questions should be answered, and we are in this process, and I believe that within the coming period of time, I think we have to agree on answering the answers of those questions in order to formulate these forces and to deploy it on the ground.
एक ब्रेक लेते हैं छोटी सी, वापस आएंगे तो मिस्र के वज़ीर ख़ारजा के साथ गुफ्तगू जारी रहेगी. प्रोग्राम में एक बार फिर खुश आमदेद. Do you have the intent to be part of this international stabilization force? And again, the Field Marshal Asim Munir was in Egypt last October, so I hope there you must discuss Middle East crisis. So did Pakistan give any kind of intention or commitment to be part of this international stabilization force?
Again, a lot of countries expressed their readiness to participate, but every country of those, they are waiting for specific answers of the different questions in order to contribute with troops.
Okay. And let's talk about the temporary transitional authority over there. Again, who will pick the people for this authority over there?
Well, we have already a list of technocrats, administrative technocratic committee. We have the names, and we picked up the names long time before. And now we are coordinating with the Israeli side, with the American side, in order to approve this list and to deploy them in order to take care of the daily and the basic daily life and the basic services for the Palestinians.
Okay, fine. In fact, after Pakistan-India conflict and then the situation what we have witnessed in Middle East, now here is the opinion of some political parties that Muslim countries also have a military alliance like NATO. So, being a Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, would you like to go for this idea? Or would you like to second this idea to have this kind of alliance among the Muslim countries?
Well, first of all, as you know, the League of Arab States, during its ministerial meeting last September, they approved a draft resolution by Egypt and Saudi Arabia in order to put specific principles which should guide the future of the regional security arrangement in the Middle East in cooperation with Muslim countries. And it's open for everybody. This security arrangement regime should be guided with principles such as no military solutions to the crisis, but only political and peaceful one. No interference in the internal affairs of the different countries in the region. Also, the issue of maintaining and preserving the sovereignty of each country and territorial integrity, and not to use force in settling out the differences, you know. So those are also the universality of the principle of non-proliferation. So those are the principles approved by the Arab countries, which is representing the majority in the region. And based on those principles, we are open to cooperate with different countries. Of course, we have long-standing relationship with countries such Pakistan, and I mean, we are open for cooperation based on those set of principles.
Okay. And how do you see the Pakistan-Saudi Arabia joint defense agreement, and would we expect that in the future country like Egypt want to have this kind of agreement with Pakistan?
Well, I mean, this is, as we understand, a defensive agreement, and we welcome any kind of agreement of defensive nature, of course.
In fact, in the field of defense, in fact, many countries are more interested to have JF-17 Thunder war aircraft to buy from Pakistan. So, what about the Egypt? I mean, are you interested to buy this aircraft from Pakistan?
Well, I mean, nothing being concrete, and it's the matter for the military, of course, in the two sides to decide. But again, nothing concrete. But we are with cooperation in different issues related to defense and security matters, including fighting terrorism, training, capacity building. We are open, of course, for that.
एक ब्रेक लेते हैं छोटी सी, वापस आएंगे तो मिस्र के वज़ीर ख़ारजा के साथ गुफ्तगू जारी रहेगी। प्रोग्राम एक बार फिर खुशामदीद। When you talk about the bilateral relations, in fact, I mean, the pace is very much slow again. We have talked earlier about it. You have given very comprehensive plan how to, I mean, both countries will interact with each other to expand the cooperation and trade. But I mean, to get this track more fast, do you have any kind of plan? I mean, how to accelerate it?
Of course, we have a specific plan, and that's why I'm here upon instructions from President Sisi to come to reinvigorate our bilateral relations based on win-win approach. And I'm expecting today to talk with brothers and sisters in Pakistan, high-ranking officials, about how to further deepening our relationship, because it's not acceptable, you know, to have such level of trade and investment cooperation, because it's not matching the excellent political relationship between the two countries. So we have to explore the different opportunities, different sectors, and as I mentioned, you have edge and expertise in some sectors, we have edge and expertise in some sectors, so we can complement each other. Petrochemicals, textile, garment, digitization, application of artificial intelligence, security, agriculture, food processing. You know, sky is the limit for our cooperation. And as I mentioned, reactivating the business council between the two countries. This is the main mechanism in pushing trade and investment cooperation between the two countries. So we would like to reactivate this important mechanism, as well as you know, having in 2026 next year a huge business forum either in Karachi or in Cairo, you know, which will involve a lot of representatives of private sector to explore the existing opportunities. We have now pretty good presence of Pakistani companies in Egypt, and we have presence of Egyptian companies here, but we need to expand this and deepening this presence. Also, as I mentioned, trade, $300 million is nothing. So we need at least to start by doubling this trade volume. So Egypt is your gateway to Africa, and you are our gateway to South Asia and Southeast Asia. And we are party to the different free trade agreements, including the Arab Free Trade Agreement, including the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. So for your countries, if they are investing in Egypt and localizing in Egypt, they are entitled to enter a market of 1.5 billion inhabitants in all Africa countries. Egypt is party to Mercosur. We have, custom duties by the United States of 10%, which is very low comparing with others. We are party also, we have the association agreement with the European Union. So we have different markets. Your investors will not target only the Egyptian market, which is already big with 110 million people, but they will target a market of at least 2.5 billion inhabitants in Africa, in Mercosur, in Latin America, in everywhere. So we can benefit from each other. We have the Suez Canal Economic Zone. This is a very, very important special economic zone alongside the Suez Canal. So you have maritime shipping lines. You can have access to Africa through cheap shipping transportation. And we have special status in the Suez Canal Economic Zone. If you are producing products and for export, you are exempted from the custom duties. So it's very important, and we have a lot of incentives, and we can work together. You have good expertise, and we have good expertise, so we can work together for a win-win situation.
Okay. Lastly, in fact, we have meetings with Pakistan top leadership today. In fact, so what is the agenda items? I mean, if you briefly tell the people of Pakistan.
Well, we have many issues to discuss. Of course, political, regional crisis like Palestine, like Lebanon, Syria, Sudan, Libya, and the situation in the Horn of Africa. Also the situation here in Southern Asia. How can we work together? Also issues related to the reform of the global financial architecture and of the Security Council, because you know, the sustainability of the existing system is not sustainable. You know, we cannot afford, as you see, Security Council, because of the veto rights, is blocking the process or the work of the Security Council. Also, there is lack of democracy in the decision-making process of the Bretton Woods institutions, including IMF and the World Bank. So we will talk about that, and we have similar views. Also, fighting terrorism is of great importance, and we can work on that. We can benefit from each other. and above all how to deepening and reinvigorating our trade and economic and investment relationship.
Thank you very much, Dr. Badal Abdul Hateh, for your time, for the Dawn News. नाज़रीन, इसी के साथ आज के प्रोग्राम का अख्ताम करते हैं. इजाज़त दीजिए. खुदा हाफिज़.